Hey, I'm Jason.
And I'm Zach.
We're here today to talk to you about dirt bottom ponds, commonly called natural ponds. Ponds that we're getting calls about all have mud bottom. And some of them were natural. Some of them were dug out with a machine, kind of have a berm all the way around. So it is man-made, but they still have the mud on the bottom. So basically there's two things to look out for when we're trying to figure out what kind of pond you have. One is it bold and holding water, or is there water flowing in and water flowing out? So we have 6 ways that we can help fix your pond. The first one is aeration. Aeration would be the one part that I would recommend in all ponds.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not going to do anything else, getting an aerator and dissolved oxygen into the pond is going to make for a healthier system.
In order to install an aerator, we are going to need electric somewhat near the pond, right? We can do some longer runs, but we're going to need electric near the pond. What else do we need in order to get an aerator installed?
So we're going to need access with some kind of machine, depending how close we are to the pond, right? We don't want to have these lines sitting outside and above ground getting frozen, and then you're going to be pulling them in and out. We want to be able to leave this thing in. Once we set it, we can just kind of forget it.
So if you have electric near the pond, great. If you don't, that's something that we can help you with. And the best part is, you probably won't even notice it on the electric bill. It's such a small draw. Tons of health benefits with aeration. Highly recommended on all ponds. The second one is definitely a water treatment package. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're starting to reduce the amount of muck that's in the pond and improve the water quality at the same time. And the way that we do that is with a bunch of natural water treatment products.
Beneficial bacteria, some enzymes, some phosphate binders, some natural products that are going to go into the pond, and they are going to work without an aerator, but you're going to see a much better impact if you have that lower level oxygen pumping throughout the pond. It's just going to keep all those enzymes working and doing what they're supposed to do.
That leads us to our third topic, which is skimming. This, to me, is probably the most important part of maintaining a natural dirt bottom pond.
So the first thing to understand is why you have all that sludge and muck that's in the pond. Well, how did it get there? It got there from leaves, debris, sticks, everything that breaks down in water from what the wind blows in or what is running off into the pond. Once it's in the pond, it has nowhere to go. It sits there, it gets waterlogged, it sinks to the bottom, and after decades and decades, you get 4, 5, 6 feet of sludge sometimes that's just been building up over years. What we want to do is mitigate that as much as we can. So the way we do that is by incorporating what we call an overflow spillway.
It basically draws all the water to one space, and by doing that, it's constantly skimming your entire pond. With some other tricks that we have as far as jets and things like that, we can do some different things to create water coming across and basically skims the whole pond, which is what fixes the surface area. Doesn't fix everything down below, but it'll help keep the surface area clean so that stuff will stop sinking to the bottom, so it won't add more debris and things like that to your problem. Number 4, aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are really good for any kind of pond. They have a lot of benefits, such as using nutrients, creating some shade, and it also helps with algae because algae is a plant and something has to grow when there's excess nutrients in the water.
Installing aquatic plants that are a mix of hardy and tropical that you can kind of keep maintained on the edges of the pond where the water is sitting, they're going to help naturally filter out a lot of that excess nutrient that's in the pond. So when we have aeration and these bacteria that are going in, that bacteria is going to start turning some of that sludge into plant fertilizer. And then your plants that you select are going to be the ones that are going to start thriving and helping clear out the water, and basically winning a battle between aquatic plants and algae. Right? Algae is an aquatic plant. It's just not one that we like to look at too much.
Right.
So by having more of the stuff we want, we're going to start starving out the stuff that we don't.
Number 5, dredging out your pond. Sometimes it's been long enough since the pond was maintained and you have a whole bunch of debris down there on the bottom, and the easiest way is just get it out of there. The way that we recommend doing that is through dredging your pond.
Yeah, and it's important to understand dredging a pond is not a one-time solution fix, right? This is to get us to a really good starting point where we can then start working with the aeration and the plants and pathogens, the bacterias, and getting that all where it's got just a much better fighting chance to get a way faster result, right? So if we kind of just went from step one and we left it there, you're going to have a longer period of time. We start adding these other components and dredging being a big part of it, you're going to see these results a lot faster. It's a bigger part of a project than adding plants. We're removing all the water, we're pulling all of the years, sometimes decades worth of sludge buildup out of the pond and getting rid of all of that anaerobic bacteria that's just sitting in the lower parts of your pond. But that is going to be something that we may recommend if you're looking for a much faster turnover in the results that we're trying to provide.
Number 6, my favorite one, a wetland filter.
If you are absolutely looking for really clear water and some big results to completely turn around the look of your pond, and you're looking for that to happen very quickly, then the wetland filter with the intake bay and everything else that we've talked about all going together is going to be the way to go. This is the Cadillac option for our natural mud bottom ponds. We've got some really cool videos to showcase how this works.
Yeah, when you take all 6 of these components, you put them together, including the wetland filter, it basically builds a natural ecosystem. That ecosystem will be the easiest to maintain, it'll look the nicest, the quickest, and you will have the best water quality.
I hope this video was helpful in educating you a little bit on what we can offer for your natural mud bottom ponds.
Yeah, reach out to us and we'll get right back to you. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep building your outdoor dreams.